Welcome back. I thought I'd just make a quick video today talking about the story of zombies and most importantly the upcoming Blood of the Dead map in Black Ops 4. So at first glance it looks just like a Mob of the Dead remake or remaster, but I think there's going to be so much more to it than just that. So I'm going to talk about mainly the Aether storyline and everything that's already known so far that's been revealed, which I think relates to the upcoming Blood of the Dead map. So first of all, most importantly, who are VICTIS? Well, VICTIS were the group of characters which were introduced in Black Ops 2. So they were Marlton, Misty, Russman and Stuhlinger, and have long been regarded as the worst characters in the whole storyline of zombies. Which I don't really think is the case, considering they only appeared in like 3 maps and the characters just haven't been fleshed out enough. And they tried to throw that whole thing about Russman and Buried, which didn't really work, but it could have been done a lot better, I think. So now if you remember back to Black Ops 2, these characters' main arc was to act as sort of pawns for Maxis and Richthofen. So what Maxis and Richthofen wanted to do was to get them to polarize these beacons to gain control of the Aether. So to obviously control the zombies, or controlled whatever the fuck was there. So despite being given the choice in Black Ops 2, the whole story in the end was that Maxis gained control, which means at the end of Buried, just Maxis wanted to destroy the world. So despite that, it wasn't the end for the VICTIS characters as we know now from the Chronicles timeline map, which was put online last year before Zombies Chronicles was released. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that, and I'm going to read out a couple of verses which I thought were very important from that. So the first one was from December 31st, 2035, Buried. VICTIS arrived at an old western town now located beneath a mining facility in Angola. They discover Aether in a jail cell. If you remember, he was the king's servant from the Rising Drac. He was in one of the paintings and he was the dude who scattered his bones all around the place for that fucking void bow, I think. Anyway, back to it. The voices of Maxis and Richthofen return. They activate the final polarization device in Maxis' favour. Now corrupted by the dark Aether, he reveals his true intentions and punishes Richthofen by trapping his soul in a zombie. Drawn into Agartha by her father, Samantha witnesses the evil that has corrupted him. When a rift opens in Dimension 63 in 1918, she reaches out to that timeline's Maxis for help. So this verse is basically just the story of Buried and the outcome of everything, and Maxis is going to fuck shit up. And so this is kind of a direct, at the end of it you can see there's the direct link between Buried and Origins. So yeah, the next one I think is from January 10th, 2036. Richthofen instructs undead Richthofen to pursue VICTIS and recover their blood files. So the blood files have kind of been a mystery for a long time, but I'm guessing it's going to have something to do with like waking or cloning the characters whenever they need to. So this, actually a side note, this also means that Mob of the Dead prisoners may come back, because the original Origins Richthofen has files strapped to him with their like inmate numbers. And from the timeline we know that Richthofen had contact with Stanley Ferguson and of course the big fucking lab that he built underneath Alcatraz, which is a whole fucking different story. Yeah, back to the main point anyway. So January 19th, 2036. Primus Richthofen begins to manipulate Stuhlinger, open a rift for VICTIS to begin their new journey, pursued by undead Richthofen and an army of the undead. VICTIS enters the rift. So that's kind of the end as far as the timeline is concerned for the VICTIS characters. But given some sort of clues that have been released or sort of shown but not told have been, I can kind of like piece together what's actually going on. So now I'm going to make the bold claim that after stepping into the rift, the VICTIS crew ended up in Alcatraz, where Richthofen like built his underground fucking weird lab. So I get the feeling that whoever was in the lab when they arrived, whether it was Maxis, Richthofen, fucking, I don't know, Leroy, or what's his name, Arthur, his real name's Arthur, I think. Yeah, they were like put in cryogenic sleep. Just kind of like imagine Winter Soldier and Captain America, so that kind of shit. So where's the evidence of this, or that there even is fucking cryogenic sleep chamber things? Well, if you look back to Zombie Chronicles again, the loading screen for Noct was changed, so there's a new panel that has been updated in the bottom middle, and it appears that there's 4 cryogenic sleep container things. And if you remember back to the Reisendrak, when you like had to shoot down the rocket and fucking get Dempsey, he was in like a sleep container thing. Just imagine that basically, but 4 of them in this big underground lab under Mob of the Dead. So overall, yeah, Blood of the Dead is not a remake or remaster, but a completely new map. So like, yeah, imagine the Giant versus Derice. They're set in the same place, yeah, but Derice is completely different in terms of story than what did I say? I don't even know what I said. One is completely different to the other anyway in terms of story. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the underground bunker looks like and how the rest of the Aether story plays out, because I know they're trying to follow this whole new story, supposedly, with new characters and new fucking maps and shit, but I get the funny feeling, despite what they say, that they're completely not connected. I think there's some sort of crossover, because one of the characters, I think his name's Sean or something, he's too much like Dr. Monty not to like arouse suspicion a little bit. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I know this was probably a tedious, confusing video to watch, because I kind of have to wrap my head around it as well. But yeah, please leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, and so yeah, see you again.